The first time I heard the howl, I was 14, curled under my grandmother's quilt in the old cabin at the edge of the Navajo reservation. It was the kind of cold that seeps through cedar walls and bites your bones. Late November, snow already knee-deep, the kind that muffles the world until only your heartbeat remains. My little sister, Aiyana, 8 years old with braids like raven wings, slept beside me, her breath soft against my shoulder. The howl came from the pines behind the sheep corral, long, low, rising into something almost human. Not a coyote, not a wolf, something that knew our names. Grandmother sat by the wood stove, her silver hair glowing in the firelight, knitting a blanket that would never be finished. She didn't look up when the howl came again, closer. "Yee Naaldlooshii," she whispered, the word heavy as river stone. Skinwalker. I'd heard the stories. Witches who wore the skins of animals, who stole voices, who took children when the moon bled red. But stories were for campfires. This was real. Aiyana stirred. "Lusa," she murmured, using the name only she called me, older sister in dying. "It's calling me." I pulled her closer. "It's just the wind." But it wasn't. The third howl ended in a woman's laugh, sharp, mocking, wet. Grandmother's needles stopped. She stood, slow as winter, and opened the door. Snow rushed in like a living thing. Outside, the corral was empty. The sheep, gone. Only prints in the snow, human, barefoot, leading into the trees. And beside them, wolf paws, too large, too wrong. That was the night Aiyana vanished. They found her wool coat 3 days later, snagged on a juniper branch 5 miles from home, soaked in blood that wasn't hers. No footprints around it. No struggle. Just the coat and a single strand of black hair, too long for a child, too coarse for human. The tribal police called it a mountain lion. Grandmother called it payment. I called it the beginning of the end. I didn't sleep after that. Not really. The cabin felt too small, the walls pressing in like a coffin. Every night, the howl returned, closer, always closer. Sometimes it was Aiyana's voice, thin and pleading. "Lusa, it hurts." Sometimes it was the woman's laugh, promising things I didn't want to understand. Grandmother taught me the old ways after that. Not the tourist kind, the real ones. She made me memorize the Hazo songs, the ones that walk the line between beauty and terror. She showed me how to burn cedar and sage until the smoke coiled like a snake. She gave me the bone-carved dagger, Atsa bone, from an eagle that died protecting its young. "For when the Skinwalker comes wearing her face," she said, "steel won't cut what isn't flesh." I was 15 when I saw her. It was the night of the blood moon, the first in 27 years. I'd been tracking the prints for weeks, human by day, wolf by night, always circling closer to the reservation's edge. The elders said the cycle was breaking, that the Yee Naaldlooshii grew hungry again, that every generation she took one, a girl, always a girl, always the one with the strongest hazo. Aiyana had been singing when she was taken. I remembered it clear as frost, her voice carrying over the snow, a lullaby our mother used to hum before the car crash took her. The wolf woman had heard it, wanted it, needed it. I followed the prints to the old mine shaft, the one the miners abandoned when the silver ran dry. The entrance was boarded up, but the boards were clawed through, splinters like teeth. Inside, the air was thick with rot and something sweeter, juniper and blood. My flashlight caught glints in the dark. Eyes, too many, reflecting back like shattered mirrors. Then I saw her. She stood at the tunnel's mouth, tall as a pine, wrapped in a cloak of wolf pelts stitched with human hair. Her face, God, her face was Aiyana's, but wrong. The eyes too wide, the mouth too full of teeth, the skin stretched tight over bones that didn't fit. She smiled, and my sister's dimples cracked open into something hungry. "Lusa," she said in Aiyana's voice, but deeper, layered with growls. "You came to play." I raised the dagger. My hand didn't shake. Not then. She laughed, Aiyana's laugh, but twisted, like a record played backward. "You think bone can kill what's already dead?" I didn't answer. I lunged. She moved like smoke, like shadow, like nothing. The dagger sliced through air and pelt, and she was behind me, breath hot on my neck. "She's mine now," she whispered. Her voice, her songs, her light. I spun, slashing wild. The blade caught her arm. Ats of bone met flesh that wasn't flesh, and black blood hissed where it touched. She shrieked, a sound that shattered my flashlight, plunged us into darkness lit only by the moon's red glow filtering through cracks above. Then I saw them, the others. Girls, dozens of them, hanging from the mine's rafters like cured meat, their mouths sewn shut with sinew, their eyes wide and watching. Aiyana was among them, her braids matted with blood, her lips moving soundlessly. Run. But I couldn't. Not without her. The wolf woman lunged again, claws raking my shoulder. Pain exploded, hot and bright. I stabbed upward, into the soft place under her jaw. The dagger sank deep. She screamed, a sound that wasn't human, wasn't animal, was everything in between. The mine shook. Dust rained down. The girls' bodies twitched, like puppets with cut strings. I pulled the dagger free. Black blood poured, steaming in the cold. The wolf woman staggered, clutching her throat. Her face, Aiyana's face, began to melt, skin sloughing off like wet paper, revealing something underneath. Not bone, not fur, something older. "You can't stop the cycle," she gurgled, voice bubbling. "Every 27 years. A girl, a song, a light." I drove the dagger into her heart. The explosion of light was blinding. The mine screamed. The girls fell, thud, 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 their bodies hitting the ground like sacks of flour. I crawled through the dark, hands slick with blood that wasn't mine, until I found her. Aiyana, cold, still, but breathing. I carried her out into the snow. The wolf woman's body burned behind us, a pyre of black fire that lit the pines red. The howl was gone. The prints were gone. Only the dagger remained, warm in my hand, humming with something that wasn't eagle bone anymore. Grandmother met us at the cabin door. She didn't ask questions. She just wrapped Aiyana in the unfinished blanket and sang the Hazo song until the sun rose. But I knew it wasn't over, because when Aiyana opened her eyes the next morning, they weren't brown anymore. They were amber. And sometimes, when the moon is full, I hear her humming. The same lullaby, the one the wolf woman wanted. The amber in Aiyana's eyes didn't fade. Not after the cedar smoke. Not after grandmother's prayers. Not after the elders came with their drums and their rattles and their stories of CHIDI, ghost sickness. They said the wolf woman had left a piece of herself inside her. A hook, a seed, a promise. I was 15 and a half when the dream started. In them, I was running through the pines, barefoot, snow burning my soles. Aiyana was ahead, her braids flying, laughing like she used to before the mine. But when she turned, her face was wrong, too long, too sharp, her mouth full of wolf teeth. "Catch me, Lusa," she'd sing, voice layered with growls. "Catch me before I catch you." I'd wake gasping, The bone dagger clutched so tight my knuckles bled. Grandmother would be there, her hand on my forehead, whispering, "Hazo Naaldlooshii, beauty will be restored." But beauty felt far away when my sister's eyes glowed in the dark like a predator's. The reservation whispered. Children stopped playing near the sheep corral. Mothers kept their daughters inside after dusk. The men, my uncle, the tribal police, even the medicine man, avoided our cabin. They said the Yee Naaldlooshii wasn't dead, just waiting. Grandmother taught me to track, not with eyes, but with feeling. The Skinwalker leaves a hole in the world, she said, where the air tastes wrong, where the birds stop singing, where the snow doesn't melt. We found the first hole a week after the mine. A circle of pines, trunks blackened as if burned, but no ash. In the center, a child's shoe. Pink. Velcro. Not Aiyana's. The girl, Najoni, age 6, had vanished from her bedroom 2 nights prior. Window open. No footprints. Just the shoe, and a single wolf print beside it, human-sized. I vomited in the snow. That night, Aiyana drew pictures. Crayons on butcher paper. Wolves with women's faces. Girls with sewn-shut mouths. Me, holding the dagger, eyes scratched out. She didn't speak when she drew. Just hummed. The lullaby. The one from the mine. Grandmother burned the pictures. The smoke smelled like burning hair. The second hole appeared near the old trading post. Same blackened trees. Same wrong air. This time, a braid. Black hair. Still warm. The girl, Sela, age 9, had been taken from her grandmother's hogan while fetching water. Her bucket was there, half full. Ice skimmed over the top. I started sleeping with the dagger under my pillow. Grandmother slept with the shotgun. Aiyana slept with her eyes open. The elders held a meeting. Not in the chapter house, in the sweat lodge, where the steam carried truth. They said the wolf woman was Litroile, the one who changes. That she'd been a medicine woman once, centuries ago, who traded her humanity for power after her daughter died in a blizzard. That every 27 years, she needed a new voice to keep her human shape. A girl's voice. Pure. Strong. Hazo. Aiyana's voice had been the purest. They said the only way to break the cycle was to find the original skin. The one she wore when she first became Yee Naaldlooshii, buried with her daughter's bones. In the mine, where I'd killed her. I laughed until I cried. The mine had collapsed. The fire had burned for days. There was nothing left but ash and memory. But Aiyana stopped humming. She spoke on the night of the winter solstice. Her voice was hers again, small, scared. "Lusa," she whispered, crawling into my bed like she did when she was 5. "She's coming back. She says I have to finish the song." I held her. Her skin was fever hot. Her eyes, amber, but wet with tears. What song? The one Mama sang. Before the crash. The one that makes the wolves dance. I remembered. Our mother, half Navajo, half Irish, singing in 2 languages. A lullaby about a girl who tamed the moon with her voice. Aiyana had inherited it. I hadn't. Grandmother heard. She didn't sleep that night. She sat by the stove, sharpening the dagger with a whetstone, the scrape, scrape, scrape like bones on bone. "The Skinwalker wants the song complete," she said. "She'll come for her on the next blood moon." February. 27 days. I counted. 27. Always 27. We prepared. Grandmother taught me the enemy way, the ceremony to drive out evil. We needed 4 things. Cedar smoke from a tree struck by lightning. Corn pollen blessed by a Hitalii. A lock of the wolf woman's hair. I had that. From the mine, wrapped in sage. The singer. The one whose voice started it all. Aiyana. But she was changing. Her nails grew fast, too fast. Her teeth sharpened when she was angry. She'd wake with blood under her fingernails and no memory of dreaming. Once, I found her in the corral, standing over a dead lamb, her face buried in its throat. She looked up at me, eyes wide, mouth red. I was hungry, she said, like it was normal. Grandmother locked her in the root cellar. Aiyana screamed for hours. Her voice, cracked and layered, human and wolf and something else. The walls shook. The dogs wouldn't come near the cabin. I sat outside the door, dagger in my lap, and sang the lullaby, the one our mother taught us. My voice was rough, untrained, but it was mine. Aiyana quieted. She pressed her hands against the door. Don't let her take me again, Lusa. Please. I promised. I lied. The third hole appeared on the night of the new moon. No blackened trees this time. Just a circle of snow, melted into a perfect ring. In the center, a child's handprint. Small, delicate, Aiyana's, but the fingers ended in claws. Grandmother found me there at dawn, staring at the print. She's walking in her sleep, she said. The wolf woman's pulling her out, piece by piece. I asked the question I'd been avoiding. What happens if we don't stop her? Grandmother's eyes were old, older than the mountains. She'll wear Aiyana's skin, walk among us, take more girls. The cycle won't be 27 years anymore. It'll be every moon. I looked at the dagger. The bone was warm, pulsing, like it had a heartbeat. We're going back to the mine, I said. Grandmother nodded, but not alone. She called the Hatelii, the singer, the one who'd taught our mother the lullaby. He came at dusk, driving a rust-red truck that coughed like a dying coyote. His name was Yazi. He carried a bundle wrapped in red cloth, the original skin, he said, not the wolf woman's. Her daughter's, the one she'd buried with her grief. We'll bait her, he said, with what she lost, with what she wants. Aiyana, The mine shaft exhaled when we reached it, not wind, breath. A low, wet sigh that tasted of iron and old grief. Yazi stepped first, red cloth bundle clutched to his chest like a heartbeat. Grandmother followed, shotgun loaded with salt and silver. I carried Aiyana, bound in sage cord, gagged with cedar bark, her amber eyes rolling white with terror. The dagger pulsed against my thigh, hungry. The entrance had changed. Where boards once splintered, now skin stretched, pale, human, stitched with sinew into a doorway. It quivered as we approached, veins threading beneath like roots. Hotin pressed the bundle to it. The skin rippled, parted with a sound like tearing flesh. Inside, the tunnel breathed steam, hot, sour, alive. We descended. The walls wept black sap. It hissed where it touched the floor, eating stone. My flashlight died instantly, sucked dry. Hotin lit a torch of cedar and fat. The flame burned blue, casting shadows that moved wrong, elongated, clawed, watching. Aiyana whimpered through the gag. Her cords smoked where they touched her skin. The sage was burning from the inside. Halfway down, the air thickened. Not humidity, wait. Like walking through water made of screams. Grandmother's shotgun clicked, empty. She hadn't fired. The shells had melted, brass dripping like wax. Hotin began the Hazo song, voice trembling. The walls answered, a chorus of girls' voices, layered, overlapping, singing the lullaby backward. Aiyana's body convulsed. Her spine arched until I heard it crack. The gag tore. She screamed, not her voice. Hers and the wolf woman's, braided into something that shredded my eardrums. Blood poured from her ears, black, steaming. The dagger leapt in my hand, blade turning toward her throat. I dropped it. It stuck upright in the stone, quivering like a tuning fork. The tunnel ended in a chamber that shouldn't exist. The mine had collapsed. I'd seen it burn. Yet here it was, vast, cathedral-like, ceiling lost in darkness. The floor was a lake of black water, mirror still. In the center, a tree. Not pine, not juniper. Bone. Branches of rib cages, leaves of teeth, roots dripping marrow. Hanging from it, the girls. Not corpses. Skins. Empty, swaying, mouths sewn with their own hair. Their eyes, gone, replaced with glowing amber coals. Aiyana's skin was there. Fresh. Still warm. Pulsing. Hoteen unwrapped the bundle. Inside, a child's pelt, wolf, but small, delicate. The daughters. He laid it at the tree's roots. The water rippled. Something rose. Not the wolf woman. Not yet. Pieces of her. A hand, clawed, furred, breaking the surface. A face, half Aiyana, half wolf, gasping. A voice, my mother's, whispering. Finish the song, Lusa. Finish it, or she takes us all. Grandmother raised the shotgun anyway. The barrel bent, metal screaming. She dropped it. Her hands aged. Wrinkles racing up her arms like frost, skin cracking, bones showing through. Lichile, she gasped. She's feeding. Aiyana's body went limp. Then wrong. Her limbs lengthened, joints popping. Fur, black, coarse, sprouted in patches. Her mouth stretched, teeth crowding, too many. The sage cord snapped. She lunged, not at us. At her own skin on the tree. Her claws tore it free. The empty pelt screamed, a sound like tearing silk. Black blood sprayed, hissing where it landed. Hoteen grabbed my arm. His grip was ice. The song, he rasped. Sing it forward. Break the loop. I opened my mouth. Nothing came. My throat was raw, filled with the taste of pennies. Aiyana, it turned. Her face was melting, fur and flesh sliding off bone. Beneath, the wolf woman's skull, elongated, eyes burning red. She smiled with Aiyana's dimples. Too late, she sang, voice a choir of stolen girls. The seed is planted. The bone tree bloomed. Skins unfurled like flowers, mouths opening, singing. The lullaby. Perfect. The chamber shook. Stalactites fell, screaming as they hit the water, girls' faces in the stone, mouths wide. Grandmother collapsed. Her hair, white, fell out in clumps. Her eyes, amber. She crawled toward the tree, hands leaving bloody prints. Take me, she begged. Not the child. The wolf woman laughed. The sound cracked the ceiling. Dust and bone rained. Hoteen shoved the daughter's pelt into my hands. It was warm. Alive. Burn it, he screamed. Burn the grief. I fumbled for matches. My hands clawed. Nails black, lengthening. The infection. Spreading. Aiyana's voice, my voice, whispered in my skull. Join us, Lusa. Sing forever. The match flared. Blue flame. I touched it to the pelt. The scream was everything. The tree exploded into ash. The skins burned, mouths open in silent agony. The water boiled. The wolf woman shrieked, clawing at her face as it melted, layers peeling back to reveal nothing. A void. A hole where a soul should be. Aiyana collapsed. Human again. Naked. Burned. But breathing. The chamber collapsed. We ran. Hoteen dragging grandmother. Me carrying Aiyana. The walls bled. Stone weeping black tears. The bone dagger sang, blade glowing white. Behind us, the wolf woman's voice, broken, dying. 27, 27. We burst into moonlight. The mine shaft sealed behind us, stone knitting together like flesh. The snow was red, not blood, ash. The pelt's ashes carried on wind that howled like wolves. Grandmother didn't make it far. She aged decades in minutes, crumbling to dust in Hostine's arms. Her last words, "The seed still grows." Aiyana opened her eyes. Amber, glowing. She smiled, Aiyana's smile, but her teeth were sharp. "Lusa," she whispered. "I'm hungry." The dagger was cold now. Waiting, The hunger in Aiyana's voice wasn't human. It vibrated, a low, subaudible thrum that rattled my teeth and made the snow steam where her breath touched. Hostine dropped grandmother's ashes, hands blackened, fingers curled like burnt paper. The wind died. Pines froze mid-sway. The moon, blood red, pulsed like a heart. Aiyana stood, naked, skin perfect, no burns, no scars. Too perfect, like porcelain stretched over something wrong. Her shadow, wrong too, stretched 3 times her length, ending in claws. She tilted her head, the motion too smooth, vertebrae clicking like dice. "Lusa," she purred, voice layered, hers, the wolf woman's mine. "Feed me." Hostine lunged for the dagger. It flew from the snow into my hand. The bone was hot, searing flesh. Veins of light raced up my arm, burning runes into skin, dying symbols, ancient, screaming. Hostine's mouth opened, no sound. His tongue blackened, shriveled, fell. He clawed at his throat as fur erupted, gray, matted, wrong. His eyes, amber. He dropped, body twisting, bones snapping, reforming into something between man and wolf. Aiyana smiled. One down. I backed away. Snow crunched, too loud. The forest watched. Every tree had eyes, girls' eyes, sewn shut, weeping black sap. The dagger sang, a high, keening note that shattered ice on branches. Aiyana's shadow detached, slithering across snow like oil, circling me. It whispered in my mother's voice, "Sing, Lusa. Finish it." I ran. The pines closed behind me, branches knitting, thorns of bone. The path vanished. Snow rose in walls, faces pressing through, Najoni, Sela, girls I didn't know, mouths moving. "She's inside you now." The dagger pulled, dragging my arm toward my chest. "Kill the seed," it screamed. "Cut it out." Aiyana's laugh, everywhere. "You can't run from family." I burst into a clearing. Wrong. The sheep corral, but not. Posts of femurs, wire of sinew. The cabin, our cabin, stood in the center, rotting, window's eyes, door mouth. Grandmother's quilt hung from the clothesline, dripping black blood. It moved, wrapping around nothing, hugging air. Aiyana stepped from the cabin, wearing grandmother's skin. Too loose, sagging at the joints, eyes hanging by threads. "Miss me?" she asked, voice muffled wet. The skin sloughed as she walked, revealing fur beneath. She shed it like a coat, stepping out in her own body, taller, stronger, wrong. I raised the dagger. It wept, black tears hissing in snow. Aiyana tilted her head. "That won't work anymore." The blade cracked. Shards flew, embedding in my palm. Blood boiled black. The runes spread, crawling up my arm like spiders. She lunged. I swung. The broken dagger sliced air and her. Black blood sprayed, eating snow, revealing teeth beneath. She laughed, grabbing my wrist. Her grip crushed bone. "Sing," she hissed, breath rotting meat. "Or I take your voice next." I sang. The lullaby. Wrong. Notes backwards, cracking, bleeding. The forest screamed. Trees uprooted, walking on roots like legs. The corral collapsed, bones rattling, forming a cage around us. Aiyana's face split, wolf beneath, snarling. Her claws raked my chest, not deep, teasing. More, she growled. Louder. The runes burned. My voice changed, layered, hers. The cage tightened. Bones pierced my skin, holding me. Aiyana pressed her forehead to mine. Her eyes, voids, stars dying inside. Feel her, she whispered. The first. The daughter. She's hungry too. A child's hand burst from Aiyana's chest, small, rotting, clawing. It grabbed my throat. Squeezed. My vision tunneled. The lullaby stopped. Silence, deafening. The forest held its breath. Then light. White. Burning. The bone shards in my palm glowed, reforming. The dagger, whole. Screaming. I stabbed upward into the child's hand. It shrieked. Glass. Nails. Grief. Black blood poured, freezing on contact. Aiyana reeled, clutching her chest. The hand withdrew, dissolving into ash. The cage crumbled. Trees fell, rotting. The cabin collapsed, sinking into snow. Aiyana staggered, human again, small, scared. Lusa, she gasped real. It hurts. I caught her. Her skin burned. Fur receded. Her eyes, brown, wet. But the runes on my arm spread, crawling toward my heart. The dagger hummed, hungry. Kill the seed, it screamed. Kill her. I dropped it. It stuck in snow, blade down, hilt up. Waiting. Aiyana clutched me. Don't let go, she sobbed. She's still singing. The wind returned. Howling. Her name. My name. All the girls' names. The snow rose, forming wolves, shadows, teeth, eyes. They circled. Closer. Closer. I picked up the dagger. It burned. Screamed. Begged. I pressed it to Aiyana's chest, not to kill. To listen. The bone vibrated. A heartbeat, not hers. The daughter's. The wolf woman's. The cycles. 27, it whispered. 27. I sang. Forward. Loud. Wrong. The wolves froze. The snow melted. The forest bled. Aiyana's heartbeat synced with mine. The runes stopped. Retreated. The dagger cracked again, not breaking. Birthing. A shard fell. Glowed. Floated. Into Aiyana's chest. She gasped. Her eyes, clear. Human. The wolves dissolved. The clearing vanished. We were back at the mine's mouth, sealed, stone, silent. But the dagger was longer. 2 blades. One for me, one for her. And the moon, full, red, watching. The twin blades of the dagger screamed in harmony, one high, one low, inhuman. They vibrated against my palms, cutting skin just by touch. Blood dripped. Mine, Aiyana's, black, mixing in the snow, hissing into steam that spelled names in Dine. Najoni. Sela. Aiyana. Lusa. The letters crawled, burrowed, vanished. Aiyana clutched the new blade, her blade glowing white-hot. Her eyes, brown again, reflected nothing. It's inside, she whispered, voice echoing from inside my skull. Asterisk the daughter. She's growing. The sealed mind breathed. Stone rippled like flesh. A crack appeared, vertical, wet, pulsing. Black sap oozed, forming a doorway. From within, howls, not wolves. Girls. Hundreds. Singing the lullaby in reverse, backwards, inside out. The sound tore reality. Snow fell upward, stars bled, moon shattered into shards that rained like glass. I stepped forward. The dagger pulled, Aiyana followed, barefoot, unburned. The crack widened, teeth of stone gnashing. Inside, not the chamber, a womb, walls of veins, floor of heartbeat, ceiling of ribs. The bone tree, reborn, taller, roots drinking from a pool of black milk. The daughter's pelt, whole, pulsing, hung from a branch, bleeding light. A child sat beneath it. Not human, not wolf. Skin translucent, veins glowing amber. Her eyes mine, Aiyana's, every stolen girl's. She smiled with no mouth. "Mama's coming," she sang, voice inside my bones. Finish the skin. Aiyana dropped her blade. It melted into the floor, becoming roots. Her body convulsed, bones lengthening, fur erupting, face stretching. She screamed, my name, her name, the wolf woman's name. The womb contracted, walls closed, veins lashed out, wrapping her limbs, pulling her toward the tree. I lunged. My blade sliced a vein, black blood sprayed, eating stone. The child laughed. More veins erupted, coiling my legs, arms, throat. They pulsed with heartbeats, stolen. Najonis, Silas, grandmothers. Each squeeze stole a memory, mother's lullaby. Aiyana's first word. The taste of fry bread. The daughter stood, grew. 10 feet, 20. Her skin split, revealing wolf beneath girl, girl beneath nothing. She reached for Aiyana's face, peeled it back like paper. Aiyana's scream shattered the ribs above, bones rained, impaling the floor. I stabbed the vein around my throat. It burst, releasing me. I crawled through blood, grabbing Aiyana's hand. Her fingers elongated, claws digging into my palm. "Let go," she growled, voice wolf. "She needs me." "No," I screamed. I sang, loud, wrong. The lullaby forward, backwards, inside out. The womb asterisk convulsed star. Veins retreated, withering. The daughter shrieked, glass, nails, grief. Her body collapsed into ash, reforming as the wolf woman, taller, older, eyes voids. She grabbed Aiyana by the throat. Lifted. "The song is mine," she roared. Aiyana's face melted, fur erupting, eyes amber. The tree bloomed, skins unfurling, mouths opening, singing in perfect harmony. I stabbed the tree. The blade sank deep. Light exploded, white, burning. The skins burned, screaming. The wolf woman dropped Aiyana, clawing at her face as it melted. Layers peeled, wolf, girl, nothing. She shrank, aged, crumbled to dust. The wound collapsed. Walls caved, veins bursting. I grabbed Aiyana, human, small, burned, and ran. The floor rose, chasing his teeth. The crack sealed behind us, stone screaming. We burst into snow, red, black, alive. Aiyana coughed ash. Her skin healed, too fast. Her eyes, brown, clear. But the blade in my hand, won again. Longer, humming, waiting. The forest whispered. Names. Howls. The moon, whole, watching. Aiyana smiled. Too wide. She's still singing, she whispered. Inside, the dagger burned. Begged. Kill the seed. I pressed it to her chest. Not to kill. To listen. The heartbeat, hers. The daughter's. The cycles. 27, it whispered. 27. Word count. 1,000. The heartbeat inside Aiyana spoke. Not words, images. Memories that weren't mine. A woman, centuries old, kneeling in snow, cradling a child's corpse. Blizzard. Grief, so raw it cracked the earth. The woman sang, the lullaby, voice shattering ice. Wolves came. Listened. Offered a bargain. Give us your grief. We'll make you eternal. She agreed. Skin tore. Fur erupted. The daughter's body burned. The cycle began. I yanked the dagger back. The blade wept black tears. Aiyana's chest glowed, amber runes spreading like frost. She grabbed my wrist. Her nails dug, claws, drawing blood that sizzled. You saw, she whispered, voice layered. Hers, the woman's, the daughter's. She was mother once. The snow rose, forming walls. Faces, girls, hundreds, eyes sewn, mouths singing. The forest closed. Pines knitted into a dome. Moonlight filtered red, painting us in blood. The dagger split again, 3 blades now. One white, one black, one clear. They hummed in discord, tearing my palms. Aiyana stood, taller, skin rippling, fur shadows beneath. The bargain, she said, voice echoing from everywhere. Every 27 years, a voice. To keep her human, to keep the grief alive. Her face shifted. Aiyana, wolf, ancient woman, child. Looping. Faster. I stabbed the snow. The clear blade sank. Light erupted, mirror. The dome shattered into shards that hung, reflecting infinite versions of us. Aiyana wolf, me dead, girls screaming, cycle repeating. The white blade sang Hazo. The black growled chaos. Aiyana lunged. Claws raked my throat. Not deep. Marking. Amber blood poured, burning runes into my skin. Join, she hissed. Sing together. Her mouth opened, too wide. Teeth rose, tongue forked. The lullaby poured, perfect, terrifying. I sang back. Wrong. Notes clashing. The shards vibrated, cracking. The girls' faces peeled from snow, floating, mouths opening. Screaming the true song. Forward, pure. The dome shook. Pines bled sap that formed wolves, circling, snarling. The ancient woman manifested, not body. Presence. Grief made air. She towered, transparent, eyes voids. My daughter, she wailed, voice wind, tearing skin from trees. The child's ghost crawled from Aiyana's back, rotting, clawing at her spine. Mama, it sobbed, voice glass. Aiyana screamed, body splitting, fur erupting, bones cracking. The daughter merged, flesh knitting into wolf. I stabbed with the white blade, asterisk into Aiyana's shadow. It shrieked, black blood spraying. The black blade followed, asterisk into the child's ghost. It dissolved, ash whirling. The woman reached for me. Hands ice, grief crushing. Memories flooded. Her daughter's laugh, blizzard, bargain. I saw the first skin, wolf, buried with love. The cycle's heart. I sang the true lullaby. Mother's version. Pure. The woman froze. Tears fell, ice shattering. The girls joined, voices rising. The dome cracked. Light poured, dawn, impossible. Aiyana collapsed. Human, small. The blades merged, one, glowing. The woman shrank, aging, crumbling to dust that blew away. The child's ghost smiled, fading. The wolves lay down, dying. The forest opened. Snow melted. Pines straightened. The moon paled. Aiyana opened her eyes. Brown. Clear. Lusa. She whispered real. It's quiet. The dagger cooled. Silent. Whole. But the runes on my skin glowed. Faint. Waiting. And in the distance, a howl. Soft. Lonely. Calling. The howl lingered. Not sound. Memory. It curled inside my ears, whispering the woman's grief in layers. Daughter's laugh. Blizzard. Bargain. Eternity. Aiyana clutched my hand. Her pulse synced with the dagger's. Slow, Wrong. Ancient. The runes on my skin pulsed amber, spelling names that burned. Aiyana. Lusa. Daughter. Mother. Snow melted in perfect circles around us, revealing black earth that breathed. Roots rose, bone white, knitting into symbols. Swastika, whirling log, hazo twisted. The forest shifted, pines bent inward, branches weaving a cage of teeth. The moon hung low, cracked, dripping silver blood that hissed on snow. Aiyana tilted her head. "She's not gone," she whispered, voice echoing from inside the dagger. "She's waiting." In the quiet. Her eyes, brown, reflected nothing. Void. The blade hummed, splitting light into spectrums that cut air, revealing ghosts. Girls hanging, skins empty, mouths sewn with moonlight. I raised the dagger. It weighed nothing. Everything. Gravity warped. Snow floated. Stars fell upward. The cage tightened. Teeth gnashed. A wind rose, not cold. Grief. It tore skin from trees, revealing faces beneath. Grandmother. Hoteen. Stolen girls, screaming silently. Aiyana stepped forward. Barefoot. Unburned. The earth parted, swallowing her to the knees. Roots coiled her legs, pulling. She smiled, too wide. "The song needs a home," she sang, voice perfect. The lullaby poured, forward, backwards, sideways. Reality fractured. Snow fell sideways. Time looped. My heartbeat echoed 27 times. The woman manifested, not body. Absence. A hole in air, shaped like grief. Stars died inside it. She reached. No hands. Tendrils of night. They wrapped Aiyana's throat, lifting. Aiyana's face peeled, layer by layer, revealing wolf, child, nothing. I sang. Loud. Wrong. The dagger flared, white fire. I slashed the tendrils. They severed, bleeding void. The hole shrieked, sound without source, shattering ears. Blood poured from mine, black, forming runes on snow. Break the cycle. Aiyana fell. Human. Gasping. The roots retreated, withering. But the hole grew, swallowing light. Girls' ghosts poured from it, translucent, clawing at Aiyana. Sing with us. They wailed, voices harmony. Aiyana's mouth opened, willingly. The lullaby began. I stabbed the earth. The dagger sank to the hilt. Light exploded, not white. All colors. None. The cage shattered. Teeth rained, bones. The hole convulsed, spitting girls, whole, alive, screaming. Najoni. Sela. Dozens. They fell, gasping, eyes human. The woman solidified, ancient, broken. Skin hanging, eyes milk. My daughter, she croaked, reaching for the ghost child emerging from the hole. The child, rotting, smiling, embraced her. Flesh merged. Grief knitted. Aiyana stood, eyes clear. She grabbed my hand. Warm. Real. End it, she whispered. The dagger hummed, begging. I pressed it to the merged form. The woman smiled, sad, human. Thank you, she breathed. I stabbed. Light. Sound. Silence. The hole closed. The forest sighed. Snow settled. The moon healed. The girls vanished. Home. Safe. Memory. Aiyana collapsed. Breathing. Human. The dagger crumbled. Dust. The runes faded. But the howl, soft, distant, lingered. The dust of the dagger hung in the air, not falling. Suspended. Glowing. Each particle a memory. Grandmother's hands. Hosteen's tongue. Girl's screams. The woman's grief. They swirled, forming a mirror. Perfect. Vertical. Impossible. The forest held its breath. Snow froze midair. Stars stopped. Aiyana stared into the mirror. Her reflection smiled. Not her. Older. Wolf. Eyes amber voids. Almost. The reflection whispered, voice inside the glass. The mirror rippled, liquid silver. Hands pressed from inside, clawed, fur, reaching. I grabbed Aiyana's arm. Her skin burned, fever, ice. The runes on my arm flared, pain, white hot. Symbols crawled to my fingertips, spilling into snow, writing. The veil is thin. The mirror cracked. Not breaking, birthing. A face emerged, the daughter, rotting, smiling. Half out, half in. Mama needs a new skin, she gurgled, voice bubbling. Black sap poured from her mouth, eating snow, forming roots that coiled Aiyana's ankles. Aiyana screamed. Real. Human. The roots tightened, pulling her toward the mirror. Her reflection grabbed her hands. Mirror hands. Cold. Wrong. Skin stretched between them. Hers, peeling like film. Blood sprayed. Amber, hissing. I lunged. My hand passed through the mirror. No resistance. Cold. Void. Inside, infinite girls, hanging, singing. Najoni reached, mouth sewn, eyes pleading. I pulled back. My arm emerged wrong, elongated, fur claws. The runes spread to my chest, heart pounding 27 times per beat. Aiyana's reflection stepped out. Fully. Taller. Wolf-woman hybrid, wearing Aiyana's face like a mask. Seams visible, stitched with hair. Trade. She growled. Voice Aiyana's, but deeper. Your voice for hers. The real Aiyana gasped, half in the mirror, half out. Her legs gone, dissolving into silver. Roots crawled up her torso, blooming teeth. I sang, lullaby, raw, throat tearing. The mirror shivered. Cracks spread, weeping blood. The hybrid lunged. Claws raked my face, not deep, marking. Amber lines burned into my cheeks. Mirror images multiplied. Infinite Aiyana's, infinite me, infinite wolf women. All singing, all reaching. The veil tore, sound of fabric, wet, final. Reality bled. Snow turned black glass. Pines inverted, roots skyward, leaves buried. Stars fell, girl's eyes burning. The daughter crawled fully out, body rotting, dragging grief like a cloak. She merged with the hybrid, flesh knitting, Howl shattering glass sky. Aiyana's voice faded, half in the mirror. Lusa, she pleaded real. Don't let her wear me. I grabbed the mirror's edge. Glass cut, no blood, light. I pulled. The veil resisted, screaming. Girls poured out, ghosts, solidifying, clawing at the hybrid. Najoni bit her throat. Sela tore her eyes. The hybrid shrieked, swatting ghosts like flies. I sang louder, throat bleeding. The mirror shattered, not breaking, exploding outward. Shards flew, embedding in hybrid, pinning her. Silver blood poured, eating flesh. The daughter separated, crying, reaching for mother. Aiyana fell free. Whole. Human. Gasping. The mirror collapsed into dust, swirling into a vortex. Pulling. The hybrid clawed ground, shrinking, aging. 27, she rasped, voice crumbling. I grabbed Aiyana. Ran. The vortex chased, howling, sucking trees, snow, stars. The veil stitched behind us, thread of light, needle of sound. We burst into dawn, real dawn. Reservation. Cabin. Safe. The vortex closed. Silence. Aiyana slept. Peaceful. Human. But my reflection in the window, wolf eyes. The runes gone. The howl silent. For now. Dawn lied. The sun rose. Too red. too slow, bleeding at the edges. The cabin breathed, walls in, out, cedar groaning like lungs. Aiyana slept on grandmother's quilt, chest rising, falling, perfect, too perfect. My reflection in the window watched, amber eyes, wolf teeth, smile not mine. The runes were gone, but the mirror lived inside. I touched the glass. Cold, warm, alive. It rippled, whispered, finished the skin. The forest outside shifted, pines melted into shadow, snow boiled into mist. The reservation vanished. Only the cabin remained, floating in void, stars underfoot, howls above. Aiyana opened her eyes. Brown, clear. She sat up. No sound, no creak. Lusa, she said, voice perfect. It's time. The quilt unraveled, threads crawling like worms, weaving into wolf pelt. It wrapped her shoulders, tightening, stitching to skin. I backed away. The door gone. Walls closed. The stove flared, blue fire, faces in flames. Grandmother, Hoteen, stolen girls. They sang, lullaby, backwards. The ceiling lowered, ribs forming, dripping marrow. The floor softened, flesh, pulsing. Aiyana stood, taller, pelt merged, fur erupting. Her face stretched, wolf, child, ancient, layers sliding. The veil is me, she growled, voice choir. The cabin shrank, coffin, womb mine. Memories looped, mine collapse, girls hanging, dagger dust. The window shattered inward. Shards hung, forming mirror again. Infinite reflections. Aiyana wolf, me dead, cycle eternal. The pelt spoke, woman's voice soft. One last skin, one last song. I sang. Nothing. Throat sealed. Voice stolen. The mirror showed, my mouth sewn, eyes amber. Aiyana reached, claws gentle. Peeled my face, slow, painless. Skin came free, warm, whole, bloodless. She held it, admiring. Slipped it on. Fit perfect. I fell. Faceless. Sight gone. Sound gone. Self gone. Only feeling. Cold. Hunger. Grief. The cabin dissolved. Void. Stars swirled into eyes. Girls circled. Ghosts. Solid. Singing. Najoni kissed my forehead. Sela whispered, "Your turn to wait." Aiyana, wearing me, smiled with my face. Amber eyes glowed. The pelt completed, wolf, girl, sister. She sang, my voice, perfect. The veil tore wide, sound of worlds ripping. Light poured, not dawn. Eclipse, moon eating sun. The cycle shifted. 27 seconds. Not years. I floated. Faceless. Waiting. The mirror reformed inside me. Reflections. Next girl. Next song. Next skin. The howl returned mine. Aiyana turned. My face. Wolf smile. See you in 27, she whispered. Void closed. Silence. 27 seconds. That's how long the void held me. Faceless. Voiceless. Counting heartbeats that weren't mine. Then light. Not blinding. Soft. Cedar smoke. Fry bread. Grandmother's quilt. The cabin returned. Walls solid. Stove cold. Dawn. Real dawn. November 17th, 2025. The mirror gone. The pelt gone. Aiyana gone. I stood in the center, skin whole, face mine. No runes. No claws. Only the dagger, rebuilt from dust, lying on the table, bone clean, silent. I picked it up. Cold. Dead. Finished. Outside. Snow untouched. No prints. No blood. The corral full. Sheep alive, bleeding. The pine straight, quiet. No howl. No girls. No grief. The reservation breathed. Normal, safe, ordinary. I searched. Every hogan, every chapter house, every face. Najoni, laughing with her mother. Sela, braiding her sister's hair. Girls returned, memories faded like dreams. No one remembered the mine, the wolf, the cycle. Only I carried it, weightless, silent. Aiyana's room, empty. Bedmate, crayons lined by color. Her favorite doll, wolf plush, sat on the pillow, eyes button brown. I touched it. Warm. Real. A note pinned to its paw. Child scrawl. I'm okay, Lusa. The song is done. Don't look for me. Live happy. The ink glowed faint amber, then faded. The doll smiled, stitched, innocent. I burned the note. Ashes blew out the window, joining snow. The dagger I buried under the old juniper, deep, wrapped in grandmother's quilt. Earth closed over it willingly, roots embracing. Years passed. I grew, 16, 18, 21. College in Flagstaff. Nursing. Helping others. No howls. No dreams. The reservation healed. Girls born, raised, free. I visited home every Thanksgiving. Sat by the juniper, listened to wind. On the 27th Thanksgiving, November 27th, 2052, I returned. Snow deep. Cabin empty, preserved. The juniper taller, roots thick. I dug. Quilt rotted. Dagger gone. Only dust, bone white. A child waited by the corral. 8. Braids. Brown eyes. Smiling. She held a wolf plush. Lusa? She asked, voice familiar. Mama said to give you this. The plush, same doll. Warmer. A new note. The song sleeps. But not forever. Guard the quiet. The child vanished. Footprints ending mid-step star. The wind carried her laugh. Aiyana's, older, peaceful. I kept the plush. Placed it on my dashboard when I left. Drove into sunrise. No howl. No fear. Only duty. The cycle sleeps. I watch. I wait. 27 years at a time.